Ever had that eerie feeling? You're thinking about someone you haven't seen in ages and bam, they call you out of the blue. Or maybe you're wrestling with a problem and suddenly, a random book falls off the shelf, open to the exact page with the answer. Coincidence, right? Most people would shrug it off, file it under weird, and move on with their meticulously planned, predictable lives. But what if I told you these aren't just random occurrences? What if the universe is far more interconnected, far more intelligent, than we give it credit for? See, that's where Carl Jung, that brilliant and often misunderstood Swiss psychiatrist, comes into the picture. He dared to look beyond the neat little boxes of cause and effect that our logical minds so desperately cling to. He saw patterns, meaningful coincidences that science in its current form simply couldn't explain. He called this phenomenon synchronicity, the simultaneous occurrence of a psychic state with one or more external events which appear as meaningful parallels to the momentary subjective one condition. 1. www.guernicamag.com www.guernicamag.com. Sounds a bit academic, doesn't it? Don't worry, we're going to break this down in a way that even your skeptical uncle who only watches cat videos will find intriguing. Think about it. We live in a world obsessed with control. We map out our days, we plan our futures, we try to predict everything. And yet, life constantly throws curveballs. Unexpected opportunities arise, unforeseen tragedies strike. It's almost as if there's a hidden hand at play, a deeper current beneath the surface of our everyday reality. Jung believed that synchronicity is a glimpse into this deeper reality, a moment when the inner world of our psyche aligns with the outer world of events in a way that feels significant, purposeful. Sounds a bit academic, doesn't it? Don't worry, we're going to break this down in a way that even your skeptical uncle who only watches cat videos will find intriguing. Think about it. We live in a world obsessed with control. We map out our days, we plan our futures, we try to predict everything. And yet, life constantly throws curveballs. Unexpected opportunities arise, unforeseen tragedies strike. It's almost as if there's a hidden hand at play, a deeper current beneath the surface of our everyday reality. Jung believed that synchronicity is a glimpse into this deeper reality, a moment when the inner world of our psyche aligns with the outer world of events in a way that feels significant, purposeful. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Meaningful coincidences? That's just wishful thinking. It's just the brain trying to find patterns where none exist. And hey, that's a valid point. Our brains are wired to seek order, to make sense of chaos. But Jung wasn't talking about just any random coincidence. He was talking about events that are connected not by cause and effect, but by meaning. It's that aha moment, that feeling of profound significance that resonates deep within you. We've been conditioned to believe that the only things that are real are the things we can touch, measure, and explain through logical, linear processes. Science, in its pursuit of objective truth, has often dismissed the subjective, the intuitive, the seemingly irrational. But what if this very dismissal has blinded us to a fundamental aspect of reality? What if the universe speaks to us not just through equations and physical laws, but through these subtle, meaningful whispers? Let's dig a little deeper into Jung's world. He wasn't your typical buttoned-up psychiatrist. He delved into the realms of mythology, alchemy, the occult, areas that mainstream science often shies away from. But it was precisely in these seemingly irrational domains that Jung found compelling evidence for the existence of a deeper, interconnected reality. Consider the concept of archetypes, universal patterns of thought, feeling, and behavior that reside in the collective unconscious, that shared reservoir of human experience that transcends individual minds. Jung believed that these archetypes can manifest in our dreams, our myths, and yes, in the synchronicities we experience in our daily lives. Imagine the archetype of the trickster, that mischievous figure who disrupts the established order, who brings about unexpected change. Have you ever experienced a sudden, seemingly negative event that ultimately led to a positive outcome? That unexpected job loss that pushed you to pursue your true passion? That wrong turn that led you to a chance encounter that changed your life? Could these be manifestations of archetypal energies playing out in the fabric of reality? Now, I know this might sound a bit woo to some of you. Trust me, I get it. We live in a culture that often ridicules anything that can't be neatly quantified and categorized. But think about the limitations of this purely materialistic worldview. Does it truly capture the richness, the mystery, the sheer strangeness of human experience? Doesn't it sometimes feel like something is missing? Jung, along with the brilliant physicist Wolfgang Pauli, yes, the guy behind the Pauli exclusion principle, explored the possibility that the seemingly separate realms of the psyche and matter are actually deeply intertwined. They proposed the idea of unus mundus, the one world, An underlying reality where the physical and the psychological are not distinct but are different aspects of the same fundamental unity. Think of it like this. Imagine an iceberg. The part above the water represents our conscious awareness, the tangible world we perceive with our senses. But the vast majority of the iceberg lies beneath the surface, the unconscious, the realm of archetypes, the unus mundus. Synchronicities, in this view, are like ripples on the surface, hints of the immense, interconnected reality that lies beneath. This isn't about abandoning logic or reason. It's about expanding our understanding of reality to include the subjective, the intuitive, the seemingly inexplicable. It's about acknowledging that there might be more to the universe than meets the eye, more than our current scientific models can fully grasp. Now let's get down to brass tacks. How do these synchronicities actually manifest in our lives? They can take countless forms, from seemingly insignificant coincidences to profoundly life-altering events. Imagine you're struggling with a creative block. You're desperately searching for inspiration, but your mind feels like a barren wasteland. Suddenly, you overhear a snippet of a conversation on the street, a random phrase that sparks a flood of ideas. Or you open a book to a page you weren't looking for, and a single sentence resonates so deeply that it unlocks the solution you've been seeking. These aren't just lucky breaks. Jung would argue that these events are connected to your inner state, to the unconscious questions you're grappling with. The outer world is mirroring your inner world, providing you with the clues and insights you need to move forward. Think about the power of dreams. Jung considered dreams to be a primary way in which the unconscious communicates with the conscious mind. Often, our dreams are filled with symbolic imagery, archetypal figures, and seemingly nonsensical scenarios. But within these dreamscapes, we can often find profound insights into our current challenges, our deepest fears, and our untapped potential. Now, imagine a synchronistic event that occurs in waking life, carrying the same kind of symbolic weight as a powerful dream. It's as if the unconscious is no longer confined to the realm of sleep but is actively reaching out into the external world, orchestrating events in a meaningful way. Consider the experience of intuition. That gut feeling, that inner knowing that seems to bypass logical reasoning. Often, our intuitions are later validated by external events. Could this be another manifestation of synchronicity, a subtle alignment between our inner wisdom and the unfolding of reality? Some of the most compelling examples of synchronicity involve numbers. Jung himself experienced a profound synchronicity involving the number of a patient's dream, the number of her house, and the number of the page in a book he was reading. These numerical coincidences, seemingly devoid of any causal connection, carried a powerful sense of meaning and significance. Now, I know that the skeptic in you might be screaming, confirmation bias. You're just remembering the hits and forgetting the misses. And that's a valid concern. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeing patterns where none exist. But Jung was meticulous in his observations, and the sheer weight and specificity of some of these synchronicities are hard to dismiss as mere chance. So, if synchronicity is a real phenomenon, what does it mean for our understanding of ourselves and the universe? It suggests that we are not isolated individuals floating in a meaningless void, but rather deeply interconnected beings embedded in a web of meaning. It implies that our inner world, our thoughts, feelings, and unconscious desires, can have a direct influence on the outer world, not through some kind of magical thinking, but through a subtle interplay of psychic and physical realities. Think about the implications of this. If the universe is constantly responding to our inner state, what does that say about the power of our intentions, our beliefs, and our emotional landscape? Could it be that we are co-creators of our reality in ways we don't even consciously realize? This isn't about advocating for some kind of naive manifestation magic where you simply wish for something and it magically appears. It's about recognizing the profound interconnectedness of all things and the potential for meaningful alignment between our inner and outer worlds. Consider the role of attention. When we are deeply focused on a particular question or intention, we often start to notice things in our environment that seem relevant to that question. Is this simply a matter of selective attention, or is there something more at play? Could it be that our focused attention acts like a magnet, attracting synchronicities that resonate with our inner state? Jung believed that synchronicities often occur during periods of significant psychological transformation, moments of intense emotional arousal or profound insight. It's as if the universe is highlighting these moments, offering us guidance or confirmation on our path. Think about those moments in your life when you felt a deep sense of flow, when everything seemed to align effortlessly. Opportunities appeared out of nowhere, people showed up at the right time, and you felt a profound sense of being in the right place at the right time. Could these experiences be examples of synchronicity in action, moments when your inner being was in harmony with the unfolding of reality? Now, I know that life isn't always smooth sailing. We all experience hardship, loss, and moments of profound despair. But even in these difficult times, synchronicities can offer glimmers of hope, moments of unexpected grace that remind us that we are not alone and that there might be a deeper purpose at play, even if we can't see it in the moment. So, how can we become more attuned to the synchronicities in our own lives? It starts with cultivating a state of open awareness, a willingness to notice the subtle signs and signals that the universe might be sending our way. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, we are often so caught up in our own thoughts and agendas that we miss the subtle nuances of our environment. We're constantly bombarded with information, our attention fragmented and our. To perceive synchronicity, we need to slow down, to cultivate a sense of presence, and to pay attention to the seemingly random events that occur in our daily lives. Keep a dream journal. As Jung recognized, our dreams are a rich source of unconscious material, often foreshadowing future events or offering insights into our current situation. By paying attention to our dreams and recording them, we can become more sensitive to the symbolic language of the unconscious and its connection to the outer world. Practice mindfulness and meditation. These practices can help us quiet the incessant chatter of the mind and cultivate a state of receptive awareness. When we are more present in the moment, we are more likely to notice the subtle synchronicities that might otherwise pass us by. Pay attention to your feelings and intuitions. That gut feeling, that sudden flash of insight, these are often subtle whispers from our unconscious. Learn to trust these inner signals, even if they don't always make logical sense in the moment. They might be guiding you towards a synchronistic encounter or a meaningful opportunity. Reflect on coincidences. Instead of dismissing seemingly random events as mere chance, take a moment to consider if there might be a deeper meaning or connection. Ask yourself what you were thinking or feeling at the time the event occurred. Does it resonate with any current challenges or questions you are facing? Talk to others about your experiences. Sharing your stories of synchronicity can not only validate your own experiences but also open others up to the possibility of this phenomenon in their own lives. You might be surprised by how many people have had similar experiences but have never had a framework to understand them. Now, I know that some of you might be hesitant to embrace this idea of synchronicity. It challenges our ingrained beliefs about causality and control. It asks us to embrace a certain level of mystery and uncertainty. But isn't that where the real magic of life lies? In the unknown, in the unexpected, in those moments when the universe seems to wink at us with a meaningful coincidence. Ultimately, the concept of synchronicity invites us to see the world in a fundamentally different way. It suggests that we are not just isolated observers of a random universe, but active participants in a cosmic dance of meaning and interconnectedness. It encourages us to move beyond a purely materialistic worldview and to embrace the richness and mystery of the subjective experience. It reminds us that there might be deeper forces at play, a hidden order beneath the surface of chaos. And perhaps most importantly, synchronicity offers us a sense of hope and meaning in a world that often feels fragmented and meaningless. It suggests that even in the midst of uncertainty and hardship, there is a deeper purpose unfolding, a subtle intelligence guiding our path. Think about the feeling of awe and wonder that arises when you experience a profound synchronicity. It's a feeling of being connected to something larger than yourself, a sense that you are part of a meaningful tapestry. This feeling, in itself, can be deeply healing and transformative. Now, I'm not asking you to abandon your critical thinking or to believe in magic. I'm simply inviting you to open your mind to the possibility that reality might be far more nuanced and interconnected than we currently understand. Consider the words of Jung himself: synchronicity is an ever-present reality for those who have eyes to see. It's not about forcing meaning onto random events, but about cultivating a state of awareness where we can recognize the inherent meaning that sometimes reveals itself in the seemingly coincidental unfolding of life. And in the end, what is the message that resonates most deeply within this exploration of synchronicity? It's a message of connection, of unity. It's a reminder that we are all part of something vast and mysterious, that our inner lives and the outer world are not separate but deeply intertwined. So, the next time you experience a seemingly meaningful coincidence, don't just dismiss it as random chance. Take a moment to reflect on it. What were you thinking or feeling at the time? What might be the deeper meaning or significance? You might just be surprised by the subtle ways in which the universe is communicating with you. And perhaps, in recognizing these synchronicities, we can begin to live with a greater sense of purpose, connection, and wonder in this extraordinary journey we call life. Be gentle with yourselves, my friends. You are part of something truly amazing. One of the most intriguing aspects of synchronicity is its challenge to our conventional understanding of time. We tend to think of time as linear, a straightforward progression of cause and effect. Event A happens, then event B happens as a direct consequence. But synchronicities often seem to defy this linear model. Think about precognitive dreams, dreams that seem to foretell future events. Or consider those uncanny moments when you think of someone, and they contact you immediately after. How can we explain these occurrences through a purely linear view of time? It's as if the past, present, and future are somehow more fluid and interconnected than our conscious minds typically perceive. Jung, along with Pauli, even explored the idea that synchronicity might be related to the very fabric of space-time, hinting at a deeper level of reality where our conventional notions of time and space break down. This isn't to say that the laws of physics don't apply, but rather that there might be subtle, underlying connections that our current scientific instruments and theories haven't yet fully grasped. Consider the concept of meaningful time. While chronological time marches forward in a predictable sequence, psychological time, our subjective experience of time, can be highly variable. Moments of intense joy or deep focus can seem to fly by, while periods of boredom or anxiety can rastagowitz endlessly. Synchronicities often seem to occur within these moments of heightened psychological significance, as if the intensity of our inner state creates a ripple in the fabric of reality, making us more receptive to meaningful connections. This challenges the purely mechanistic view of the universe, the idea that everything is just a random collision of atoms following predetermined laws. Synchronicity suggests that there might be an underlying intelligence, a cosmic ordering principle that orchestrates these meaningful coincidences. This isn't necessarily a conscious God in the traditional sense, but rather an inherent tendency towards wholeness and meaning within the universe itself. Now, I know this can sound a bit abstract, but think about those moments in your own life when you felt like everything was happening for a reason, when seemingly disparate events clicked into place with a profound sense of purpose. Didn't it feel like more than just random chance? Didn't it feel like you were part of a larger story? Synchronicity invites us to embrace a more participatory view of reality, to see ourselves not as passive observers but as active agents in the unfolding of meaning. Our inner landscape, our thoughts, feelings, and intentions, might be playing a far more significant role in shaping our external reality than we typically imagine. Let's delve into the ethical and personal growth implications of understanding synchronicity. If the universe is indeed more interconnected and responsive to our inner state, then our thoughts and feelings carry a greater weight than we might realize. Think about the power of intention. When we focus our energy and attention on a particular goal with clarity and conviction, we often start to notice opportunities and synchronicities aligning with that intention. It's as if our inner focus creates a gravitational pull, attracting the resources and events needed to manifest our desires. However, this isn't a call for selfish or ego-driven desires. Jung emphasized the importance of aligning our intentions with our deeper self, with the process of individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming whole and integrated. When our desires are in harmony with our authentic being and the greater good, synchronicities seem to flow more readily. Consider the impact of our emotions. When we are trapped in negative emotional states like fear, anger, or resentment, we might attract experiences that mirror these negative vibrations. Conversely, cultivating positive emotions like love, gratitude, and joy might open us up to more harmonious and synchronistic events. This highlights the importance of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. By understanding our inner landscape and taking responsibility for our thoughts and feelings, we can become more conscious co-creators of our reality. Think about the role of surrender. While intention is important, clinging too tightly to a specific outcome can actually block the flow of synchronicity. Sometimes, the universe has a better plan for us than we can even imagine. Learning to trust the process and surrendering to the unexpected can open us up to synchronicities that we might have otherwise missed. This isn't about being passive or giving up on our goals. It's about finding a balance between intentional action and receptive awareness, between striving and surrendering. It's about trusting that even when things don't go according to our plans, there might be a deeper purpose at play. Consider the ethical implications. If our inner states can influence the outer world, then we have a responsibility to cultivate positive and compassionate thoughts and feelings. Our individual well-being is not separate from the well-being of others and the planet as a whole. Synchronicity, in this sense, can be seen as a call to greater consciousness, a reminder of our interconnectedness and our responsibility to create a more harmonious and meaningful world for ourselves and for future generations. Now, let's address some of the common criticisms and misunderstandings surrounding the concept of synchronicity. As we discussed earlier, the skeptic in us often cries out, confirmation bias. You're just seeing what you want to see. And it's true, the human mind is wired to find patterns, even where none exist. This is why rigorous scientific investigation of synchronicity is so challenging. How do you objectively measure meaning? How do you control for subjective interpretation? Jung himself acknowledged the difficulties in applying traditional scientific methods to the study of synchronicity. He saw it as an acausal connecting principle, operating outside the realm of cause and effect. This doesn't mean it's not real, but it requires a different kind of understanding, one that integrates both objective observation and subjective experience. Think about the limitations of a purely reductionist approach. While breaking things down into smaller and smaller parts has yielded incredible insights in science, it can also lead us to miss the bigger picture, the emergent properties that arise from the interconnectedness of complex systems. Synchronicity might be one such emergent property, a phenomenon that can only be understood by considering the interplay between the psyche and the external world as a whole. Consider the role of probability. Many seemingly miraculous coincidences can be explained by the sheer number of events that occur in the universe every day. With billions of people and countless interactions, highly improbable events are bound to happen occasionally. However, Jung argued that synchronicity involves more than just statistical improbability. It's the meaningful nature of the coincidence, the subjective feeling of significance that sets it apart from a random occurrence. It's the aha moment, the sense that this particular coincidence is not just chance but a message or a sign. This highlights the importance of our individual experience in understanding synchronicity. While objective verification might be elusive, the subjective impact of a meaningful coincidence can be profound and life-changing. Think about the danger of tafsirun muthratun, overinterpreting random events and assigning meaning where none exists. It's important to maintain a healthy dose of skepticism and to avoid falling into magical thinking. Not every coincidence is a synchronicity. The key lies in discerning the difference between a random occurrence and a truly meaningful coincidence, one that resonates deeply with your inner state and offers a genuine insight or guidance. This requires a certain level of self-awareness and intuitive discernment. Let's explore how the concept of synchronicity can enrich our spiritual and philosophical understanding of life. It suggests that the universe is not a cold, indifferent machine, but a living, breathing entity that is in constant dialogue with us. Think about the ancient traditions that speak of omens, signs, and the interconnectedness of all things. From indigenous cultures to mystical philosophies, there has long been a recognition that the universe communicates with us in subtle and often mysterious ways. Synchronicity can be seen as a modern, psychological framework for understanding these ancient intuitions. Consider the feeling of being in flow or in the zone. These are moments when our inner being is in perfect harmony with our actions and the external environment. Synchronicities often occur during these periods, as if the universe is supporting our alignment and purpose. This challenges the Cartesian dualism that has dominated Western thought for centuries, the idea that the mind and body are separate and distinct entities. Synchronicity suggests a deeper interconnectedness between our inner psychological reality and the outer physical world, blurring the lines between subject and object. Think about the concept of anima mundi, the world soul, an ancient idea that posits a living, intelligent spirit inherent in the universe. While Jung didn't explicitly endorse this concept, his work on synchronicity resonates with this idea of a deeply interconnected and meaningful cosmos. Synchronicity invites us to move beyond a purely egocentric view of ourselves and to recognize our place within a larger, interconnected web of life. It fosters a sense of humility and awe in the face of the universe's mysteries. Consider the role of wonder and curiosity. By remaining open to the possibility of synchronicity, we can cultivate a sense of wonder and curiosity about the hidden dimensions of reality. This can make life feel more magical, more meaningful, and more chungmankarnam. Ultimately, the exploration of synchronicity is an invitation to a deeper conversation with ourselves and with the universe. It's about paying attention to the subtle whispers of meaning, recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, and embracing the mystery and wonder of existence. It's about trusting that even in the face of uncertainty, there might be a deeper order and purpose unfolding, and that we are all part of this extraordinary cosmic dance. Be kind to yourselves and keep seeking the meaning in the moments.